Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakwadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Wisdom Rule Well, and the Akim doing the work of Yahbashim Shai in sincerity, truth, and in diligence of mind. This is Brother Nash DC Camp with a brief impromptu video to let Akim know, man, Esau's on his way out. So things like this mass shooting, massacre, it's just gonna keep happening, man, because this is sign of the last days, man, because you know how it is, man. Esau's on his last leg, and he's gonna pull out every trick in the bag to cause mass hysteria. So it's interesting, man, to see this thing play out. But you know how it is, man. It's just another psychological operation, because Esau has to attack people's minds, and after that, it brings out the real deal, So it's just preparing the people for what's to come. Because all this idea of folks saying, oh, well, they should have said, Trump this, Trump that, PewDiePie, Candace Owen that, hey, so-called white supremacists, white nationalists, doesn't change the tone of Esau's his motives, man. Because Esau just want to rule forever, so he'll do whatever he can to get over. So this is just one of his techniques, man, because the elites plan to extend their rulership, as far as their mind could perceive, So hey, it's beautiful, man, to see these things happening, because it's just fulfillment of prophecy. Because Psalms 49:11 says that inward thought is that the houses shall continue forever, to all generations to come. So hey, it is what it is, Esau's just practicing, it's making trial runs, it's getting the pulse of the people, and then all of a sudden, talking about more laws on the books for gun control. So it's all a dog and pony show. So whether it's simulated attack or whether it's real deal doesn't change, because whatever is on the books and whatever the elites want to do, they're gonna try, So these elites, man, they have all kinds of tricks, man. They got things on the books that they like to try out, all type of psychological operations, So it's beautiful, man. I can't complain. I can't be, holding my head in my hands, crying, So it's just beautiful to see the prophecies of the Lord Yahweh Shai come to pass. Because hey, the Lord has a way of making his judgments known. So it's just a warning to Akim that on the sidelines. You can't be on the sidelines anymore, man. You gotta get out of that state of mind and stick with the Lord Yahweh Shai. Because your faith has to be tested in these last days, man. Brothers are having dreams about all these chaotic events happening in society. So this is just one of them, man. Esau likes to complain that shooter is this so-called white supremacy, but what you see on the screen right there is a result of white supremacy. There you have a so-called prime minister, an Edomite, a red Hebrew Edomite prime minister in the land of Japhet, So, what else could you call that? And then you have Japhet on the side doing the sign language interpretation. So it just lets you know, man, Esau has conquered the whole earth, man. So what you see on the screen is just a result of so-called white supremacy. Because these elites, man, they want to play both sides. They say, oh, well, they're against not white supremacy, but at the same time, the legislation they put on the books, their actions, commercial sector, in the educational sector, in the medical field, is to empower themselves, man, to make themselves the heroes. And the people they want to go against, make them the villains, But they want to play both sides, and all of a sudden, they want to push for more gun laws. So it's all It's all tricks, It's all smoke screen. That's exactly what it is. Because Esau is a violent man. By the sword shall he live. He's envious of these other nations, coming up in his area that he's conquered, and then all of a sudden, he can't compete anymore. So the peon of these Edomites, they want to go on a rampage and start smoking people. Then all of a sudden, they say they have a manifesto. All right. So I get a quick scripture. We know that much. So I'm going to get a book of Psalms chapter 73. All right. Psalms chapter 73, verse 6. It says, therefore pride compasseth them as a chain, violence covered them as a garment. All right. So that's how these Edomites are, man. They are violent by nature. That's where the Lord, the Abba Shema Shai, created them to be. They can't resist that urge, to have that mindset of conquering, that violent mindset of destroying things, man. The whole earth is destroyed, you know, it's out of shape, it's whack, it's crying out, revolted because of these Edomites, man. They've turned the whole earth upside down, you know. And then it says, their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. Alright, so an Edomite going out there on a shooting spree, he's just fulfilling the desire of the elites, man. Because the elites benefit from the actions of these peons. So they use the peons as cannon fodder. Then all of a sudden, they have their so-called henchmen in all these government positions to pass more laws to squeeze the people further. So it's all you know, a left and right game. I slap you on the right, I hold you on the left. Smack you on the left, I hold you on the right. That's all it is, man. So our country don't fall for this, man, because the elites are just trying to, see what they could get away with, gradualism, all right? So they do what they can, but only for a limited time. When you read Revelations chapter 12, talks about he has a short time to rule. This Edomites have a short time to rule. All right. So this Psalms 58 verse 3. It says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." So that's exactly what they do, man. Then they have a nerve to be talking about Trump in a news conference that he supports this so-called white supremacists, white nationalists. But at the same time, you guys are on the same team. The media, so-called media sector, it's all based on white supremacy. They pull the strings in every way, direction, and form they like to. Like to tell people things from the perspectives of what the elites want the people to be aware of. All right. So I'll just read Psalms 58 verse 2. I know I read verse 3. So it says, "Ye work, you know, alright, some of verse 1. It says, do ye work? Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye speak uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye walk wickedness, yea, weigh the violence of your hands in the earth." Alright, so Esau, he just can't rule without violence, man. Comes around with his sweet speech, and all of a sudden, he wants to attack. Alright, so the word for violence is Hamas. Hamas. Alright, so that's H2555. That's violence. So it says violence, wrong, cruelty, injustice. Hey, what else can I say? So these Edomites, man, their rulership is built, on evil, man. The scripture talks about there's righteous violence and there's evil violence. All right, but these Edomites, man, what they do, man, is it's terrible, man. Terrible. The history speaks for itself. It's just terrible. You could read just read the scriptures, man. It just lets you know, man. These Edomites, you can't really reason with them. You gotta be in the spirit of the Lord there by Shema Shai. Watching them, that's the only way you could understand what's going on. You gotta be in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. Alright, because they like to, pass laws and legislation to say, oh well, we gotta do this to prevent it from happening. All of a sudden it happens again. We gotta do more to prevent this from happening. Then it happens again. More laws to prevent this from happening. Happen again. So more to keep increasing the laws and laws and laws on the book. Before you know it, folks find themselves in jail, man, just for opening the scriptures. They say, oh well, the Bible, you know, it's a symbol of hate speech. So you're gonna be arrested for violation of ordinance of this certain section, public or law, and all that crap. So it's just a steady, infringement on the people's right, to say the truth, to speak the truth, you know. So uh, it's all a front, man, and then they push for this so-called multiculturalism agenda. And then, the people start having conflict. They want to come in with another legislation to prevent the conflict from happening. So it's all trickery, you know. So I'm just gonna get a few more precepts. So this is the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 12. It says, "Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth." So they come up there on the stage and say, "Oh well, we'd like to send our deepest condolences to the families of the people that they were short in the mosques in Christ Church. We were so saddened, and this just happened on the same was it what around the same day when you have the national walkout. For the so-called Parkland shooting that happened in Florida. So it's hilarious, man, how these things are orchestrated. So it's all spiritual, how these Edomites operate in the dark. And then, when things come to light, all of a sudden, people start scrambling. But it's just what it is, man. It's all a smoke screen. That's how these Edomites, that's how they operate. You like to hit with a jab when you're looking another way, doing something, you need to be doing. All of a sudden, like, oh no, oh no, oh no, sir, are you okay? I'm like, dude, you just hit me. I was like, man, it's crazy, man. It's very crazy. It's how this Edomites are, man. All right. So it says, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. So that's on his mind, man. It's on his mind. And then the so-called idea of whiteness, going back to 1681. So when the elites, take advantage of it, all of a sudden they say it's a terrible thing to be a white supremacist. But they got rich using that doctrine of white supremacy. All right, so it's all a idea, of Hegelian dialectic. The whole idea of controlling both sides of the argument. This problem, reaction, solution. It's all It's all hilarious, kabuki theater. All right. So this is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. It says, you know what? I just go straight to the point, man. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Ba'ashon Kakadash, that's about what? They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever. The people against whom the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Kwakadash, had indignation forever. So the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua is against these Edomites, man. That's why they're lashing out against the people on the face of the earth, lashing out against the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, just lashing out, man. That's messed up. And then you look up the word for wickedness, and that's precept, Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. It says Rashaya. So it says wickedness, guilt. Alright, wickedness, guilt, fault. Alright. Fraud, alright. What else? Unrighteousness, falsehood, alright, and the border of wickedness. The border of unrighteousness. Wherever they go, it's always misery that comes to the inhabitants of that land. Alright, so that's the point I can, man. The elite just taking advantage of both sides of the arguments, man, of this white supremacy and violence, man. That's all it is, man. It's just a smoke screen. So I just say Kahala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of great Missouri rule well. To the Hakim, do the work of your Ba'ashem Yahushua, sincerity and truth. Keep fighting the good fight of faith. We're not out of here yet. You just gotta deal with it, man. You gotta deal with this madness of white supremacy. I pray the Lord Ba'ashem Yahushua continues to open your mind to receive the good news, the gospel. The gospel of Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom.